must have been years ago because I went on top of the rocket one day and you found imprints of sort of sea creatures.
Coal is a sedimentary rock that formed during the Carboniferous and Permian geological periods. The rock is deemed organic due to its mercurial constituency. Its value for human use was derived from the degree of carbon within its composition. Its formation was unique. It will never regenerate. It began 360 million years ago, when seeds of plants evolved a structural molecule called lignin. This component allowed for a strength and complexity of which we now know as wood. In this distant past, one akin to geological time, the order of millennia, not minutes, the decomposers of the Earth system were stunned by this development. The fungi and bacteria took 60 million years to understand how to break down this revolution of the botanical cosmos. By the time the first organism managed to feast on the piles of undecomposed matter, much of it had become embedded into the Earth's crust. These layers of fossilized tree matter were converted into coal by the heat and pressure of deep burial. These underground chambers became known as seams, ribbons of carbon folded by time. Planetary forces shifted and distorted these layers. Those that became exposed on the Earth's surface are known as fields, exploited and churned like much of the agricultural cultivation of the ground's skin, an instrumentalization of earthly phenomena into an imaginative space of extractable value. The subterranean seams were also exploited and hollowed, now lying as empty and jagged voids, echoing creaks that reverberate through and across their geological neighbours. These carbon voids continue to interact with their surroundings. Accumulated methane gases seep into the atmosphere through cracks and scars. Water pools and is heated from the Earth's core. The surface caves and collapses in a process called subsidence. The emptiness left behind from carbon extraction is by no means a dormant phenomenon, yet the material that once filled these voids evades our sensory experience.
My dad was, when the mine at Norton Hill caved in, and I were about 13, 14, out on that step out here, waiting to see because they had to rescue them.
Human activity will forever be visible in stratums of surface geology. These layers will be forged from materials that are grouped under the dynamic category of waste. Plastics, bones, and hybridized heavy metals are all embedded in the Earth's crust. The Anthropocene, the Plasticocene, the Capitalocene. It's memorialized in the ground. The skin remembers. Although coal could be seen as combustible matter, existing as translated molecules in the atmosphere, in a form humans cannot directly perceive, its expressions are everywhere. Cement, steel, paper manufacture, aluminium. It exists against our skin, in our textile dyes, within our pores from our cosmetics. Through the process of extracting coal, many other materials are heaved up to the Earth's surface and placed in specific sites. These sites are named spoil heaps. They are the so-called waste product of the extraction process and remain as undulating mounds in the landscape, merging into the topography as volatile and vibrant actors. They are the remnants of human exploits and become an interface, a cultural resource inscribed into the planetary skin.
mines, there would have been thousands of mines, and goodness knows how many people employed in them. So you look at the history of it, both in terms of the social and economic history, there's a heck of a legacy there, really. And a lot of people in this country would have had family and relatives associated with the mining industry. So it's got a major impact on the history of the country.
The concept of a resource dominates geopolitical power struggles, yet such a thing is a becoming, not a being. Something becomes a resource as opposed to being one intrinsically. The ontological determination of something as waste is equally irreducibly cultural. This liberation allows us to transform what was waste into an interface.